We are doing the tush today. I love training the butt. We do not want to have a flat tush. We want to have some sort of roundness back there, right? So this is a bunch of exercises for the tush. We are going to use some bands, and that's it. If you don't have these bands, don't sweat it. You can either leave out the banded exercises, or you can do them just without the bands, all right? So the first one, what I'm gonna do is, for this first exercise, I typically use this fabric band. This is the only exercise that I use the fabric band for, and I'll tell you why. Certain exercises, we don't want a band that rolls up our legs or that bunches up like this. And so for this one, since I'm moving and walking, I don't want to have something that's going to be moving around and riding up and rolling like this. All right, when we use these really strong bands, we want to make sure that you push your knees out and stabilize your knees against this resistance. Really important. You do not want to have your knees caving in when you're doing motions like this, because that's really bad for your knees. All right, so what I do is I set up here, I push my knees against this band, come down to a low squat like this, and I start walking backward and stepping out. Walking back, stepping out, walking back, stepping out. And I don't want to get too far out of the frame here, but I walk back about 25 steps that way, and then I turn around and I walk back this way. And it's like you're making a C with your legs, okay? Obviously a backwards C on this side and a forward C on this side, right? And so I walk and I do about, I do about 25 steps that way, 25 back, and then I go back out again 25 steps and 25 steps back this way. So, that's quite a bit of a ways, and you should really feel that activation of your glutes. When you're working your glutes, you need to have that mind-body connection, because they are the laziest muscle. They want to recruit the hamstrings, the back, any other muscle, so they're not working. So this is a great way to start out your glute workout and kind of make sure that they are turned on and ready to go. All right, our next one is going to be some squats. Now, when I do squats for glutes, I do squats on leg day. You can load up your bar, but oftentimes when you have a loaded bar here on your back, even on the front here, you're not going to get super, super low. Getting super low in a squat kind of depends on your genetics, and if you have a short or long torso, short or long legs. Some people just can't get down really low. If you have instability in your hips, it's really not a good idea to load up a bar and squat. That becomes a very quad dependent exercise. So when we're training glutes, yes, there is some quad involvement, but we don't want quad specific exercises. So for my squats on glute day, this would be the heaviest I go. 15-pound dumbbells. Oftentimes, I use no weight at all, because this is how low I want to be in my squat, okay? So I'm going to drop these weights and show you. I go nice and low, and then up 3/4. Nice and low, up 3/4, right? So the action you see here is in my hips a lot, okay? If I'm squatting like this, I don't have a lot of action in my hips. When I'm down here, I have a lot of action going on in my hips, okay? So this is how you work your hips with your squat. You've got to get down low. The way to get down low, lighten up your weights, lighten up the load up here, so you can really get that movement down there. So these squats, I do a lot. I go to 20, 30, 40 sometimes. I'll stand on a BOSU for this. You can hold a weight here, you can wear a weighted vest, lots of different things there, but lots and lots and lots of reps. All right, our next one, I use one of these little rubber banded bands for this. And you don't have to use a band for this, but I do like doing it, so it's increased resistance. I put the band right below my knees there, and then I'm standing on one leg, and I'm gonna rotate this hip out to the side. It is not a lateral lift. We're not doing this. Watch. I have my knee bent and I'm opening out to the side. You see that? Opening out to the side. It is a rotational move of your hip, just like that. And with this band, it is super challenging right back here. Totally feeling it in that glute. Okay? So I do 20 on this side and then switch over. And 20, see the rolling? I told you about that, right? And 20 on this side, rotating out, just like that. Okay? So 20 on each side of those. Then I go to my glute bridges. Now, glute bridges you can do on a couch, on the floor, or on something like this. This is my little ottoman here. I use sometimes a sandbag for this. I have a really heavy sandbag. You'll see people loading up a bar and using kind of a, like a little foam pad on the bar. You really don't need to go too heavy with these glute bridges. You just have to increase your reps until you feel, you know, your glutes really firing and getting worked. All right, so what I do is I come down like this. I'm using my 15, but typically I use like a 25-pound dumbbell. And look, I don't have a huge range of motion up and down, okay? What I do is I really ground my heels here. I have my weight here, and I'm up and down this much, not that much. Up and down. Okay? When you come all the way down here, your glutes are dead. They're not doing anything, just jiggling around. So keep them activated by keeping those hips up a bit. That way they're working the whole time, okay? And when I come up, I squeeze super, super tight. Squeeze those buns together. Squeeze. And I do a lot of reps here. Oftentimes, I'll do up to 50 reps there. At least 30. 30 to 50 reps weighted. Great for the glutes. Okay, after that, we are doing, these are great. After you're super gassed out from doing all those lifts, you back up here just a little bit. Come back up into the bridge like this, and what I do is I kind of hold on to the top here and lift this leg out and hold it. And this is a great exercise to do after you gas out your glutes. Okay, because if you start your workout with this, you'll be able to hold this all day. Okay, so we hold that for about a minute or so. Switch sides and hold this out. You don't want your hips to cave in. You really want to keep them up, okay? Holding like that. And then I just hold like this. I might do some squeeze and pulses, or I just hold super tight and just kind of meditate for a little while here. Because at this point, after those 50 glute bridges and those holds, I'm usually shaking real bad, okay? So we just hold right here at that point, all right? After those, we are going to do some kickbacks. So you can do this with a band. I typically don't because I really like a big range of motion. What I do is stand on the one leg. This leg is slightly bent, okay? And I do this next to either a wall, a chair, a couch, something in case I feel like I'm gonna fall down and go boom, I can grab on and kind of hang on. So, standing on this one leg, checking in like this, and you essentially want to be hanging on to both sides of your knee, just like this. This is what's going to kind of hold you, okay? Then we kick in with the knee and press out. Notice I didn't say up. We press out because we are activating our glutes. This does not activate your glutes anymore. You want to press out through that heel. So we're in, press out with control. See that? Control, slow, press, in, and press. See how wobbly I am on my leg? This is great for stabilizing your ankles, working on ankle stability, working on knee stability. Anything unilaterally is going to be great for your hips, knees, ankles. Okay, so we do 20 on that side, and then in and out here, 20 on this side. Focus. And I'm looking about 2.5 feet down at the ground. Okay, in and out like that. Really, really focus on working that glute and flexing that glute when you're in that out position. All right, and then the last one is reverse lunges. I usually don't use any weight for this. You can be on an elevated step. You can be on a Bosu for this. You can flip your Bosu over if you want to really be wobbly and have a good time with that. You can hold on to dumbbells for this if you want to, but I typically don't. So I just step to the back. When you're doing your lunge, you want to have space in between your feet. You do not want to be on a balance beam, okay? Really good stability when you have this space in between your 2 feet. So we bend both our legs, posture is tall, come up and I bring my knee up. Down, up, down, up. And I do 20 on each side. If you can't bring your knee up, don't worry about it. Just bring your toe in, like that, okay? Just make sure that your posture stays tall and you don't come forward like this. We don't want that. That's actually a different exercise. There are some forward bending lunges, but I'm not putting those in this video. Straight down, straight up, 20 on each side. And that is your glute workout. Lots of exercises here, okay? After this, we grab that fabric band, back to those walks, you know, making the letter C with your legs, okay? A bunch of times through with this. Focus on each exercise. Do a lot of reps. That's what it takes. You don't have to lift super heavy. If you do a lot of reps, you're going to get the same results. All right, enjoy. Good luck getting those big round booties and have a great day.